let's do a sound check. Hello, hello. Alright, let's continue with Shining Nikki. This is Volume 2, Chapter 7. The first beam of sunlight is now sitting upon the majestic pinnacle of the Church of Glory, and it's indeed a sunny day today. The Queen finishes the morning meeting in the Pigeon Palace and is seeing off her guests from afar. Her wings glow behind her, and she is beautiful as when Nikki first met her. Nikki, I would like to thank you, and I feel as though I've been living in a dream for a past few days, and glory has returned at last. And despite herself, Ophelia can't take her eyes off the sparkling Lake Holylight, and the sunlight now gleaming in both her eyes and the lake. Glory is now back, Ophelia, and it is you who brought it back. And Your Majesty, please stop doing something so dangerous as this. Nikki and I almost had a heart attack. Thank you, Momo, and I'll take good care of myself. And with a gentle smile on her face, Ophelia opens a canonical text beside her. There's only so much I can do, but I still like to be of help. And you can find Sala's oracle in the diary she wrote in Symphonica. Elder Sala's grandfather had been to the far west and borne witness to the miracles at the edge of the world. Legend says it's where the boundless quicksand hides an ancient holy power, and where wastelanders built a shrine there, believing it to be a place nearest to God. And Salah wrote in his diary that the miracles Edra had seen had to do with the oracle he had received in the pigeon forest, and his attempts to travel to the wasteland never bore fruit. I think the wasteland might just have what you're thinking. Wasteland, and I heard that's where the glory began. Yes, it's indeed a place blessed by God, where the people coexist with nature and believe everything has a soul, and where all the religions began. And the miracles and the Ella and Salah's oracle. And returns history, and you might find out how the ocean of memories fate of this continent are intertwined. Let's go to Wesa, and we might come across something useful on the oracle. Speaking of which, we've been to Mirror for quite a while now, but have never. Yes, this is a nice information. This piece of information is important to us. Thank you, Ophelia. The Queen paces to the window, and the holy light of the river is flecked on a small sparks of white, and even from afar she can hear the music and cheering in the square. Learning of the history that was forgotten and hidden has stirred my curiosity about the truth of doomsday prediction, and sadly I cannot go chasing after the truth like you. She around, and her bright eyes gleaming with gentle smile. And I saw it in the Holy Grail. A beam of dazzling light burst by the deep waters, intertwined with fiery red embers, and from which the elf with beautiful wings of light was born. And those were the first elves of light, and they weren't tasked by the gods to save the world, nor were they superior to the other elves. But they were a miracle nonetheless. Ophelia. But as the kingdom's queen, the kingdom's present and future matter more to me than learning the truth of the past. And I shall demonstrate to all the beliefs of the other light, and glory will unite all forces and grant blessing to those who believe in the courage and miracles. You're so cool as ever, Your Majesty. And the pigeons are organizing the Pigeon Music Festival with me near, and I don't have much time to spare myself. Nikki, Teresita, safe journey to the both of you, and I hope to see you again when the music festival starts. So now we're going to like the desert, to like a desert area. It's like a nice suntan glow. front and back, and off we go.
I see the causes of the world with my eye.
Gold's stone tribe. And the blazing sun scorches the earth yellow, and sun covers the sand, and steaming heat fills the air, distorting even the scenery. And the people bustle through the narrow paths lined with tents on the other side, and surrounded by the dazzling array of goods and the sound of ravenous bargains, and the market buzzes with energy. And people dress very different here. And some have gems embedded in their fronts, and some wear their hair adorned with feathers, while others have bark sewn into the sleeve, and they all have different accents. And the scent of spices whiffs in the air, making Momo sneeze repeatedly, and the hot air forces him to pass with open. Momo, are you okay? Wasteland is sizzling hot, and I'm about to pass. Beautiful cataphracts in the desert, and two big ones and a small one, and some cactus water for you, and it's good, and better than well water under the starry night. A what? A frog? And what's good? It's just something he likes to say, apparently. And the star that quickly pours Chicago's dark green liquid out of a long spout from his silver apron and hands them over, and there's nothing going back. And are you sure this isn't going to kill us? And Momo takes a seat despite himself, only to find himself taken by surprise. Nikki, Teresita, you need to try this. It's bitter, but it's really cools you down. It's super hot, like Catapher sticking his tongue out. It's hot, and let me take off your hat. And Catapher seems to be what the Ghost Stone tribe refers to Outlanders as. And Nobby tries to take off Momo's hat, but Momo wouldn't let him. The Momo clan never removes their hats. Well then, we will yum some barbecue and bread together, and this marshmallow and yogurt too. And having stuff is so Momo is not running around despite the heat. And everyone sees and attends now for arrest, and with a questionable command of common language, Nobby tries to tell everyone about the merchandise he sells. Say, is the Gold Stone tribe always so full of energy? No, the railway track is far. Nope, and we are seeing as many hunters from the other tribes only because the hog hunting is about to begin. It happens once every 3 years. And a man carrying two gigantic baskets says as he exits the tent, my name is Rabi, and Nobby's older brother, and he's the last person you want to get any explanation from because he doesn't speak common language all that well. So what's this hog hunting? It's a Westland most important event, and we host the event with the Azure tribe and the Lost Sand tribe. And it's attended by all of the hunters from across the wasteland, except those of the Bygone tribe. And the hunters ride horses and hunt hogs and lions. Such bravery, and let's go out after work. Then a group of three appears, and they are tall and wearing with bright light clothes of different style, and their belts all have the same hawk symbol. Rabi, we want all of the feather arrows you had left. I knew the hunters who are supposed to be keeping the feather arrows safe, and why are you buying feather arrows on the day of the hunt? And we were hit by a black sandstorm last night, and so black that the night itself almost seemed bright, and it destroyed all of our warehouses and feather arrows. The Ghost Stone tribe is one of the sponsors, and yet has no spare feather arrows. And some responsible host you are, wouldn't you say? And say what? It was a natural disaster, we couldn't avoid it, and it destroyed our arrows too. Arrows from stocks can possibly be better than ours, can they? And you really need to up your game. Huh, and what do you say? And the situation is heated, and it doesn't help that all three of them speak with an accent of their own, and Rabbit quickly jumped to help. And gentlemen, please, not in my shop. And the Ghost Stone Hunter was about to make things ugly when he saw Nikki standing just a few meters away from them. Fair Catapher, Outlanders are always the best judges, so we ask for your fair judgment. Wait, what? I don't... And why don't we settle this with a Hawkstein styling hunt, and only the winner gets to speak? Like a fancy hunter. Let's see. Nice hunter outfit. Alright, nada ni hablar. Alright, front and back, and off we go.
Every battle I'm in, victory is the only outcome.
The hunt is over, and the three hunters seem to have regained their composure, and Nikki opens her mouth to speak. Gentlemen, I believe you were only in a bad mood because the arrows were lost, and why don't you get yourself ready for the hunt with the arrows you bought? And this Christopher has a point. We'll settle this at the actual hunt. And convinced they greeted one another apologetic and sped off on their horses with the arrows. You sure know how to talk, Christopher, and thank you so much. So what brought you all here when you never even heard of the hunt? And we're looking for a shrine that we heard is just around the Golden Stone tribe. But there are so many shrines here, and which one are you looking for specifically? There is a quicksand around it, and an adventurer by the name of Elder has been there. And Obi and Rabbit shake their heads after looking at each other. And we never heard, but you can go to the fortune-telling street and try your luck. And a fortune teller knows where to point you no matter what you're looking for. Images of a dark alleys come to mind when they think of a fortune teller shop. And this harbor doesn't seem to apply to the ones lining the noisy street at the Golden Stone tribe. And crystal balls, cards, and dice. And each with a different item in hand, and rows of fortune tellers wearing clothes or veils sit behind tables, serving the lineups before them. And so hold portraits of those they are finding, and some are ready to offer fruits and vegetables, and others are leaving with newly acquired amulets in hand. Fortune telling is a common practice in the wasteland, and people believe nature governs fate, and the medium helps deliver God's will to the world. And look at all of these fortune tellers, and who should we speak to? Lost traveler, and why do you not follow the fate's guidance? And an ethereal call followed by the crispy rings of bells carries from the other side of the crowd. Who is it? Nikki looks around and finally seeing a girl in a veil sitting with her eyes closed away from everyone else and her style sitting beyond the reach of light. And she slouches nonchalantly against the wall with a crystal ball sitting in her hands, the sole occupant of the table in front of her being herself. Hi, were you speaking to me? And when the girl opens her eyes, they seem two bright blue crystals shining. And when she moves, they hear the same rings, and then they did just a moments ago. I see the resplendent sea of stars surging, the turmoil's astral tail leads to the world unknown. Huh? The fortune teller's eyes are locked on the visitor, and all the while uttering things that hardly answer the question, and this is getting Momo's nerve. Hey Nikki, maybe this isn't a good idea. But she talks about some sea of stars, and Nikki drops Momo down on the chair in front of the table, and satisfied the fortune teller nods her head and raises the crystal ball. And only to those it slip off her hand and shatter into a million glittering pieces on the ground. For God's sake, shattered stars cannot be saved, nor can they reveal destiny. But no matter, my divination relies not on tools. And what is she talking about? The fortune teller casts a fragment of sign unceremoniously and then produces a deck of cards out of thin air. And in the blink of an eye, the deck of cards splits neatly in three equal piles between her graceful fingers. And when she draws a card out from the deck with her palm, it fans out perfectly. She raises her hand and loses her gaze, inviting them to each to draw a card. And the three draw cards quickly and reappear in the fortune teller's hand, and she quietly taps on the cards with her pale fingers as if listening to them. She's not the same person she was moments ago, and her deep blue eyes now gleaming like sapphires, and the ripples of light draw all closer to the truth. She flips over the first card. The sun and moon share on one sky, and help all creatures evolve. Sandstorms amassing into a dark hall that brings calamity. The second card is flipped, a sword hung upside down with pieces of shattered stars. The hawk comes from the sea and lands where the gods descend, guiding the waters to flood the land. The third card is flipped, a withered flower in hand, and a priest wears a smile on her face as tears trickle down her golden eyes. And after a long gaze at the third card, the fortune teller turns this way. Anything wrong? The guardian has slipped into a deep slumber, yet the power of the guardian still shines. Only when the two deep blue lights reunite can the lost past be recovered. And her words seem to have a hidden meaning, but just when Nikki is about to ask, the fortune teller stands up from the table and runs off. She's running away. Hold on. Nikki doesn't have time to think, and she follows her around the corner, only to be blinded by the sun. And she raises her hand to block off the glare, but the fortune teller is nowhere in sight. I didn't understand a single thing coming out of her mouth. Sandstorms amassing into a dark house that brings calamity. Could this have to do with what the hunters were talking about before? She also thought about some hawk occupying where the gods descend, and could it be the shrine we're looking for? Sandstorms and hawks, and this seems to have to do with the hawk hunting. And are you going to hunt? And let's wear something else that might be more suitable for the occasion, Nikki. Let's see what we have. That's a nice, pretty looking one. think I'm gonna be adding gloss to this one, so I'm not gonna add nail. Okay. Oh, here. Find some greenish earrings. Oh, this one's look decent enough. I think this would do. Front and back, and over.
Come on. I'll present you with the most beautiful drink.
After the goddess of desire crosses, Teresita wakes up on the ark, and a new mission revealed by the rainbow light, and they must reclaim their power and memories lost, and explore additional possibilities for saving the world. And Rainstorm has been driven away from the fires born in the ancient pigeon forest, and Queen Ophelia has received glorious blessing for the pigeon kingdom. And the choice of glorious creatures suggests a new direction, and Nikki's journey continues. The fortune teller strolls briskly down the busy market, and along the way her veil and cloak are dancing gently in the blistering air. And she stops before a magnificent hall and peeks into it. And no one is allowed inside until the hardcore hunting has begun. And a guard trains his spear on the visitors, and she elegantly undoes her cloak and veil, and her ponytail falls playfully and hangs next to her white cheek. My word, Lady Tess, Chief Saido is waiting for you. And dressed in her heavy robes and adorned with precious gems, Xiadu stands in the audience area, and his expression is great after speaking with the new director. Are the preparations for the hunt going well? The feather arrows have been replenished, but the black sandstorm sure were bizarre, and the other chiefs are unhappy, and that's making me anxious. And Xiadu takes a glance into the room beside him, and the three arrows he preserved under a residuals covering the wooden shelf in the center of the room, and the carbon gems on the arrows glistening. Thank goodness the divine arrows are fine, otherwise the hunt would have had to be terminated, and that would be jeopardize the peace of the tribes enjoy. Therefore, you foretold the situation a year ago, but I never imagined that it would hit us so soon. And do the gods have further guidance, and should we call it a halt for now? And Priestess Death shakes her head, and her blue eyes now beaming with a smile. No, we aren't completely out of the harm's way just yet, but the gods have shown us that it would all end well. And registration for the hunt is drawing to a close, and outside of the hut, a woman on a horse rushes towards the door as it draws together. And the dark horse speeds through the door, and just before the door shuts completely. And the horse comes to a complete stop when she tugs the reins, and her cloak dancing in the air as the horse raises its back. And the woman wastes no time dismounting from the horse, and with her cloak on she asks the registration manager, "May I still sign up?" "Of course, and this way, please." And the registration manager quickly unrolls the registration book again, and another older man casts an eye on the woman. "You seem unfamiliar, and have you participated in the past hunt?" And the woman places the pen down and shaking her head and looking slightly bemused. "Memory's getting rusty here, no? And don't worry, Hunter, you're all set. And the winner hunter from the last year was a real beast, and no one knew anything about her, though. But that was over 10 years ago already, and just how exactly was she the only winner?" "Well, now, young man, nobody said she had to be human, and people were all saying she just might be a legendary hawk hunter." And the woman is already out of the door with her horse, and leaving the two talking with each other. And when the gust of wind blows her way, she reaches out, and only that it disappears and leaves her hand coarse in black gravel. And a frown forms on her face, and she looks off into the direction the wind blows. And the wind makes its way into the hall and rustles the registration form and the very last name on the sheet, and signs slightly and sharply reads, "Jisoo." The moment Nikki and the others walk into the hall, the oppressive wave of heat engulfs them. And the sun shines brightly upon the hall, and a towering wooden post stands in the middle with glass woven heart piercing at its peak. And the audience hall is a sea of assorted colors cheering for the hunter as the sound of bones, pipes, drums resounds across the hall. "I don't think there's any seats left, and let's just stand at the entrance for now." "I can't see anything from Nikki, and the noise is killing my ears too." And suddenly the sound of the horn pierces the air, and the crowd is immediately silent, and directs your attention to the stage. And following the sound of the drums, the chiefs from the Golden Tribe, the Lost Sun Tribe, and the Azure Tribe emerge. And they ascend the center stage wearing their heavy tribal accessories with a solemn air, and present 3 divine arrows inlaid with sapphires. And the hall gleams brightly as the sun peeks into the sky, and the 3 chiefs picks up a golden knife ready to make their blood oath. And with Shandor, Tarek, and the lead, the soldiers off the stage start hitting in the ground with their spears. And as the ground shakes, the soldiers start chanting a prayer in tune with the beat. And the song tells a story of a long past, and many centuries ago, a Santo caused unrest to the life in the village a century ago. And a hawk hunter drove it away and left 3 divine arrows behind to deter future threats. Also, that's the story behind the hawk hunting. And religious belief permeates every aspect of life in Wasteland, and a supposed hunt is held in memory of the hunter who protected the village in the past. The participating hunters from the square in the area, and they wave their longbows at the crowd, and as their horses dance and neigh in anticipation. And a sudden Wasteland audience waves their flashback at the hunters from the stands and chanting a prayer in unison. And the howl drums in thunderous cheer, and the 3 chiefs each place a divine arrow on the longbow at the same at the grass-woven hawk, and then sends their arrows piercing through the air. And the glimmering sapphires on the arrows seem to draw a path in the sunlight, leading straight for the grass-woven hawk atop of the arena's central column. And the outbursts of the audience and cheer flood the hall, and Nikki and Momo can help but hold their breath. And just as the arrows are about to hit their target, they suddenly take a sharp turn and deviate from the path. And what's going on? And as soon as you finish speaking, the 3 arrows dart in your direction, and seemingly to have found their new targets. "Wait, I think they're coming for us." We were just minding their own business with when the arrows magically change targets. That is silly. It's a nice red outfit. Alright, front and back, and off we go.
This time I'll change the ruined future.
They threw 3 arrows at me, and I had 3 knives. Oddly, the arrows don't attack, rather they seem to search for something. Nikki's styling power clashes with the sapphires in midair as a vision appears, and a cobalt-like gauze with the black sandstorm occurring in the sky, and a woman holding a longbow inlaid with sapphire fights a cast of circling hawks, in her appearance masked by the raging storm. And the hawks crumble into the black sand when hit by the arrows, and only to converge again into more hawks that head for the woman. And the fight seems to be endless. And seemingly aware of something, the woman suddenly turns around and is met with a pair of bright golden eyes. And Nikki's standing power stops the arrows in midair, which fall to the ground beside her. And the audience is no longer cheering, and they are shriek in fear and disbelief, plunging the hall into a sea of chaos. But Nikki seems to ignore the situation, and she lowers her head to pick up the fallen arrows and examines the faint glow of sapphires upon them. And the woman in the center held a bow that radiates the same cobalt blue, and it was a fleeting image, but what does it mean? Who are you people, and why do you come to desecrate the hunt? And the booming question brings Nikki back to reality, and she finds that they are now surrounded by soldiers from the 3 wasteland tribes. Stay back. And the soldiers all have long spears in their hands, and their serious expression only makes the pains they wear more frightening. And Momo is quivering all over, but still stands between Nikki and the soldiers. We didn't do anything, we just... And the pointed spears and aggressive soldiers make it impossible for Nikki to explain the situation properly. And how do you manipulate the divine arrows? It must be with some sort of evil dark magic. Are you out of your mind? The arrows targeted us on their own. But the divine arrows are meant to keep our tribe safe, and it can only mean one thing when they point at you. You are our enemies. Ignoring Nikki and Momo, a soldier shouts orders to have them cease, and another soldier has already picked up Momo. Let me go! And the she have descended from the raised platforms to join the commotion, and frowning, Shadow asks the soldier holding Momo to release him. There is more to the situation than meets the eye, and let's take it easy for now and let the cataphracts explain themselves. Not so fast, and why are these people allowed into the secret hunt in the first place when it's an event where we dedicate our bravery and power to the gods? And Priestess Tess foretold of a disaster, didn't she? And what's stopping us from neutralizing the perpetrators here? And is there something you're trying to hide? And my prediction was exactly as you just said, sir. And the commotion is brought to a halt by the ethereal voice of a woman, followed by the crisp ringing of a bell. Lady Tess. And the soldiers clear the way, allowing a young girl with black hair and blue eyes to come through. It only took Nikki a glance to recognize her from the market. It's you. And the girl nudged Nikki, and after bowing to the chief, she speaks to the soldiers in a low yet firm tone. I suppose we can all I suppose we can all use a reminder that this is no way to treat our friends who have come from afar. And the chief stood out of the soldiers to let go a moment and turning to face the crowd, Priestess Tess speaks in a raised voice. I am Priestess Tess of the Goldstone tribe, and I have informed the chiefs of my predictions, and while the hunt did experience unrest, the islanders are not responsible. The hog hunting is a sacred event that is to be observed with justice and peace, and we recently enraging the gods and losing their blessing. And the Golden Tribe has seen the priestess's holy dance at the grandest rituals and pray with her at the temples, and her words are clearly held in high regards. And Priestess Tess, and is never wrong with her predictions, and the islanders must be innocent. And the Goldstone Tribe unanimously approve of the Priestess Tess' words and sparks further discussion among the others. Priestess Tess is from the Wasteland's most prestigious family of fortune tellers, and she wouldn't favor outlanders. And the divine arrows are back to where they should be, and so we should let the hunt begin now. And the people agree with Priestess Tess because they all want the hunt to resume as soon as possible, and the chief have also seemed to calm down. Lady Tess, I have my doubts. Lady Tess, I dare not doubt your predictions, but the question still remains as to why the divine arrows behave the way they did. And fortune telling is an ancient art, but the younger generation has yet to prove themselves to competent, and we can't trust the Soundlanders just yet. I understand, and I will deal with the situation accordingly. And my family has always relied the God's message for peace and prosperity of your tribes. And the chiefs are not totally convinced, but nonetheless decide to entrust us with the suspected after some discussion. And with a well-respected priestess Tess standing before her now, Nikki lets out a sigh of relief. And save all of your questions for later and come with me for now. Alright, let's see. There's a fun color to go for this. Let's set it over there. And since we're in like a desert area, and Nikki's got like a suntan now. Like I figured that I would go with the theme. A big crown. front and back, and off we go. Oh, I forgot to put on the shoes. See what you sometimes forget. And I must have forgotten the shoes because I'm like in the physical world right now. I'm like that big. I'm like just wearing socks. This was fun. Front and back, and once again, and off we go.
I see the causes of the world with my eyes.
The inside of the makeshift tent is minimally decorated, and a low table sits on the colorful carpet, and the fresh incense, however, fails to relax the three of you. Tess is calmly on her seat, flanked by soldiers with serious expressions on their faces, and almost too scared to even dare sitting down anywhere. And the two of you may go now, and I will see to the questioning myself. And as the soldiers leave, Tess looks directly at the three of you from her seat, and she now has a total control over your fate. Shall we begin, and tell me your names and who you are and where you came from and what you came here to do? And then I'll be thinking, aren't you like a sidekick? Shouldn't you already know that? I'm Nikki, and this is Teresita and Momo, and we're just tourists from Pigeon Kingdom, and we absolutely didn't mean to cause any harm during the event. And Tess lies down casually on the table as Nikki tries to explain herself, and she looks at them curiously with no sense of hostility, only pure curiosity. My prediction told me that you will reach a surging sea of stars instead of a forest, and that you should be after an abandoned ruin, not a huge gathering. I knew you were crazy. And Tess stuffs some cake into Momo's mouth and carries on, seeing that she doesn't seem to bear ill will. Nikki decides to question off her chest. Lady Tess, just Tess, please. Tess, why did you help us back there? And don't get me wrong, I only did what I had to do as the Golden Thrice priest to ensure the hog hunting runs smoothly. And if I had taken the three of you out of there, the divination error would have kept coming back to you. And why were they targeting us though? That's only because you have something that attracts them. The gemstone mirror? Correct. And you take out your portable gemstone mirror and see that the sapphires on it now glow faintly. And the glow is similar to the light that was radiated by the sapphires on the divine arrows. The three divination arrows, and what do they have to do with our belongings? And to stuff a piece of cake into her own mouth and wrap herself in a blanket, and her voice now muffled. All three tribes of the Golden Stone, Lausanne and Asher, have seen a certain hawk hunter at some point, and she's gifted them with three divine arrows for protection against the sandstorm. And she wields a divine sapphire bow that glows when it senses the divine arrow, and legend has it that she is still at war with the sandstorm to this day. And Tess is talking gibberish again like she did back on the fortune telling, except everything she sees seems to carry a hidden meaning. Oh, that's a little mean, Mr. Narrator. The sandstorm that shrouds the haze, the woman fighting alone, and the dazzling cobalt blue light of the boat, and the hunter. And what do they share in common? The hunter, and I wonder where she is now. And probably in Yarma dealing with a different hunt. Tess wears a knowing smile and seems to know what's going through Nikki's mind. So do I, but I can't give you that answer. Can you use your fortune telling to find out? The gods relay information but do not provide concrete answers. Rather, they point us in a certain direction. For example, they led me to you. Why do you say so? I don't understand what you mean. And Tess faces three standings before her with her bright blue eyes, and she seems to be looking at something beyond that which is before her. A prediction points only to a certain beginning, and a seed planted in the desert is bound to bloom eventually, but what will happen in between is uncertain. And that's why you went to the fortune-telling street and took us to the hawk hunting. Except by then, and it was fate and fate alone that led you here. And this might be the right starting point, but it's anyone's guess as to how it will end. I only went to meet the three of you because I was interested, and sure enough, you are quite interesting indeed. And what do you mean? It is interesting how you, Nikki, are supposed to always be need a cat by your side because you like lunar energy. And I haven't seen the cat so far though. Oh, so Momo serves a different person. So Momo provides Nikki with lunar energy. That's interesting. Hey, am I so sure that you can see me standing right here? Didn't you say before that you aren't a cat? Hmm. And that's exactly what I mean. You give Nikki the lunar energy she needs, even though you are not a cat. And this is nothing short of a miracle. Well, then again, a lion is technically not a. Well, maybe he's just a different type of. From a big family of feline fellows, you know? Those are tigers and mountain lions are technically not household cats, but they are felines. Okay, now I'm divagating. So you knew I wasn't a cat from the get-go, and maybe you aren't a sham after all. But Nikki has more questions to ask about Tess' expedition on the fortune-telling street, and about the hog hunter, and about why Tess approaches her at all. Like, Momo's probably a Bakineko or church cat. What are those, Fee?
They are demon cats in Japan mythology.
My brother said they are demon cats in Japan mythology. Or supernatural cats, cause like from certain folks area, like just be like when you say demon, like demon doesn't mean the same thing in Japan as it does in the Western world. But whatever, I'm getting sidetracked. Tess squeezes lightly on the fur and sticks on Momo's head, and she looks at Nikki right in the eye when she looks up.
Remember the cat return? The cat returns
Time shall answer all of your questions. An appellation turns into a fact that may always does connect to form a lie, and the truth can never be seen unless it is with one's very own mind and eyes. Until then, let patience do its work. Alright, now we got up 8. The opening ceremony had just drawn to a close as she returned to the hall, and the grass-growing hawk on the wooden pole now has 3 arrows driven into its bullseye, and the hunters in the arena look as ready as ever. And when Tess finishes sitting, you close to the arena stage to speak with the chiefs regarding the questions. And we must have a better view sitting here than when we were before. And from where the 3 are seated, they can see a dozen hawks circling in the air. And all participating hunters are the best of the best from their respective tribes. And they ride horses at a top speed and can catch the hawk's attention in just a few seconds by whistling. And they can even silently sneak up on their targets and then speed away before they're attacked. And the audience cheers for the hunters and the hawks, and the shouting continues until the hunt's final moments. And suddenly many more hawks appear in the arena without notice. And by the time the audience realizes, the horses have already become restless and running and neighing and anxiously and throwing the hunters into a frenzy. And what's that? And a black sandstorm converges about the hall to form a whirl and sucking even the light into it. And the area quickly dims and dozens of black sandy hawks dive down to attack the audience. Alright, this turning to the hawks of Alfred Hitchcock. The auditorium is now a mess, and the chief reacts quickly by making an evacuation announcement and leads the hunters into battle. Not just like in the verse of Alfred Hitchcock, most of them were like seagulls and household birds, but like hawks, they have very sharp talents, so they are one step above more dangerous. The sandstorms are coming, and everyone takes refuge in the cave. And on the raised platform, Tess uses her bell to help people avert the attack and guide them to the evacuation point. And the sandstorm seems to have a mind of their own, and they disperse to dodge the feather arrows, and then converge again into hawks to attack. And the giant wings set the hunters flying everywhere. No, not there. And no longer interested in the scrambling and the defeat, the sandstorm heads straight for the central wooden pole. And the impact shakes the giant pole and almost knocks the 3 divine arrows off their mark. And the hunters make a dash for it, but it's too late. As they anxiously try to think of a solution, they see 3 people by the pole who had yet to evacuate. The divine arrows keep the divine arrows safe. and the two shadows steered straight towards the eye of the sandstorm without a second thought. And come back, Nikki, Teresita. Alright, in the middle of a sandstorm. I have to reapply it. But for sometimes it's like one of those spray on sometimes you gotta reapply it every time. Yeah, I gotta look totally fly in that sandstorm. Mm. Mm. Oh, I think I forgot the shoes and the socks. You can't really see them, but if you don't like add them, you can like raise your score. Like always try to as far as the cloak always provides an extra score. So if you're struggling to like get your styling power on, just put on a coat. Cause you may only be allowed 5 accessories, but the code always provides a little extra. Now let's put on gloves because it's very sandy. Let me see. What else do I have? Yeah, fancy magic stuff. Alright, front and back, and off we go.
Will you trust me?
Nikki's styling power starts a black Sandy Hawks momentarily, giving Nikki enough of a window to retrieve the divine arrows. Nikki, let's go. And the Saxon suddenly breaks free and comes at you on all possible directions. As if maddened by the arrows being snatched, the Saxon lets out a deep, furious roar and devours you, carrying you and Nikki in the air. Oh, Nikki's hand. Nikki, don't let go. And you feel Nikki's hand as your hands intertwine. And the darkness blocks your sight, and the wind drowns your hearing, and you are trapped inside a giant cocoon of sand, and slowly feeling suffocated as the air is drawn out of it. And the jump was much more too strenuous for Nikki, and the cold sand strikes her body, and the gravel scrapes away at her hands, leaving smears of red behind. Teresita! And the whirlwind sand overwhelms her call, and as you forcibly pull your hands her, the sandstorm draws her in, and she's swallowed into the dark. Nikki! And the sandstorm's roars now resemble a human's raspy voice. Unworldly creatures appear on after another as the sandstorm changes shape and threatening to drive away every last one of the intruders. The world darkens as the raging winds continue to wreak havoc. A sharp arrow suddenly comes piercing through the wall of sandstorm, and a woman appears violently braving the wind. A pair of powerful lines catch you midair, and you open your eyes and realize that you recognize the golden eyes under the hood of the woman's cloak. You. And the sandstorm continues to persist, yet it seems as if time has stopped. And in an instant, the black gravel turns into waves, sparkling the wind with specks of stardust. And the hazy images flash past your eyes, and someone seems to be reaching out to you as the world draws itself away from you at a light speed. Hold on tight, and the hands grabbing you by the shoulders weigh down a little, and then following the wind's path, the two of you land in a sitting area. And Nick is still up there, and the woman nods her head and dives right in back. And letting out another worldly roar, the black sand comes sweeping towards the woman as though she were its age-old nemesis. And the woman, however, shows no sign of fear, and she braves the wind and searches for the girl with pink hair with her hard eyes. And the woman sees no stranger to the black sand's attack, and she dodges the wind blades ever so deftly, and sometimes using them to her advantage to go in deeper. There you are. And her eyes shut tightly, Nikki seems trapped inside a nightmare, and the furrow on her face a telltale sign of the fierce fight, and the arrow sits safely in her arms. And the woman keeps Nikki's wounded arm covered with the side of her cloak as she makes her way out of the sandstorm. She breaks through and leaps out of the sandstorm, and as she would an abyss, and lands perfectly in the audience area. Nikki, are you okay? She's fine. She'll come to in no time. And thank you, and may I ask? Stay with your friend. And the woman summons a dark horse with a whistle, and she jumps down onto the horse's back and once again heads in the direction of the black sand. The black sand hog lost momentum, and giving the hunters a window to get back on their feet, and drawing their bows, they are ready to fight back. Follow me. And the woman charges into the melee and taking the lead and drawing a black hog's attention in the forefront. And her arrows points to the enemy's vital, and her stance seems to be a spell victory, and the crowd joins her and not even knowing who she is. And those taking refuge peek out of the cave to see what's happening, and Ted stares at the woman with a smile. Phew, there she is. Say, isn't that the hunter who signed up last time? It's indeed, and I knew it, and I knew she was the legendary hawk hunter, and we're going to be okay. And the people are chanting and cheering for the hunters in unison, and as they did at the hawk hunting. And having regained their spirits, the hunters have regrouped themselves and are determined to fight till the end. And I don't care what the things are, but I'm going to get rid of this, every last one of them. And we're not necessarily a number, and if we stick together, they're as good as scattered sand. And the hunters are adept at the diversion. And while they finish painting their arrows blue, they divert the black hawk to one location and have the ambush squad attack it. And I will swoop and pierce the air one after another. And this the real hawk hunting, where the participants and hunters work together rather than compete against one another. And the black sand continues to recede until the woman leading the hunters. And the giant black hawk, having been driven to the edge of the hall, is the only enemy that is still standing. And the black hawk furious in agony, and seemingly on someone's command, the drifting sand gravel converges into a pair of huge wings. And rolling waves of sand mask the sky and block the sun, and the ground trembles, and the buildings uproot, and the hunters ascend out flying out of the arena. And in the raging wind, only one woman remains. And with razor-sharp eyes, she leaps off her horse and pulls a few wooden arrows from her quiver and fires into the air without hesitation. And the arrows pierce through the darkness and peel off the sandstone disguise and shattering the black hawk into a sand that is unable to reassemble. And the black sand lets out a beast-like screech, and after stirring one of the last wave of sand, it makes its escape from the city. And from the distance comes that sounds like a growly human voice, but it disappears in a few moments' time. With the wind and the sand gone, the skies finally clear up, and sunlight seeps through the cracks on the dome, and turning what's left of the black sand into bright white sparkle that vanishes in a whiff of smoke. And peace has at long last returned to the hall. Onlookers re-emerged from the cave, supporting one another as they made their way to the center of the arena. The evening sun stretches their shadows, and a sight reminiscent of a sacred pillar standing tall on the earth. And the area is less in a terrible state. Unfortunately, most only receive minor injuries before taking shelter quickly as possible. And people gather to attend the hunters who are injured. And they don't seem bothered at all by their injuries because to them their injuries are a symbol that they have lived. And the sun has sunk halfway behind the horizon, and when they finish building a makeshift stage, and the pole has been reinforced and now stands tall firmly on the ground. And Nikki and Teresita return the 3 divine arrows, all of which are unscathed, to the chiefs. And after looking at one another and nodding their heads, the chiefs turn to the crowd and shout cheerfully, "And let's show our utmost respect to these hunters who have kept our arrows safe." Huh? And people swarm around the 3 of you and carry you onto the stage before you realize that the 3 chiefs take a solemn bow. And dear guests from afar, thank you for fighting alongside us in our hour of need, and for the misunderstanding and the doubt we caused on you before. And you have a sincere apology. You are a very definition of hero. And our tribe shall remain forever accessible to you, our valued guest and friend. The necklace is a symbol of respect and friendship, and Tess pulls one of each of the 2, and you silently says, "Well done." And feeling slightly awkward, Nikki looks over her at the sunset sky, and she hears a gallop of a horse heading this way, and the golden beams of the sun aligning a figure that is carrying itself tall. It's the heroine who led the fight against the Black Hawk, and she's the one who won the battle. And people burst into cheers seeing her, but she stops a few meters away from the crowd, showing no intention of being part of the celebration. She looks across the hot sunset air and catches sight of Nikki and Teresita on the stage. And she looks a little bit like the Black Lagoon chick. I mean, at least her outfit. The woman approaches her horse and she does herself off and removes the belligerence from her face. Is now facing those she has protected with a smile. Which one? Remy, that was the name of the Black Lagoon chick. The return of the Black Hawk was an ominous sign, and thanks to the God's blessing that we had the courage and power to fight off those evil sandstorms, and you led us in the fight against the Black Hawk, and you drove it away all by yourself. And you are the champion of this year's hawk hunting, and a true hawk hunter, and I am certain that no one will hunt that statement. And God, and we thank thee for keeping us safe with the hawk hunters and the divine arrows. And with the firewood placed in the center of the house, the chiefs invite her to join them on a stage and pass her an arrow made of flint. A celebration will be held tonight until tomorrow morning, and we ask that the hawk hunter to light up the bonfire for us. And with a nod, the woman draws her bow again and sends the arrow flying. And the arrow pierces through the air and lands on the wood, and bringing red-hot bonfire to life in the twilight. And long live Wasteland, and long live Wastelanders. And against the firelight, and with her bow in hand, the woman's figure appears ablaze with an everlasting will to combat the sandstorm. And when later the calamity has come to an end, Nikki finally lets her guard down, but suddenly a wave of exhaustion and pain overwhelms her. And the woman who is standing right next to Nikki reacts right away and catches her. "Thank you very much. And you are very brave. You are all very brave. And you?" The woman looks at Teresita and is taking her time with it. "What's wrong?" "You seem familiar. Hunter, may I have a picture with you? And will you come and visit our tribe?" And a group of young men and women gather around, and their eyes gleaming with adoration and admiration. "Aye." And filled with a sudden enthusiasm, the woman who was sure and composure just a moment ago is not at a loss for words, and she puts on a forceful smile. "And why don't we all come back for pictures when we are done with getting ourselves washed and clean?" And people salute to Tess, and she walks through the crowd with Momo, and Nikki notices that the woman has regained her composure after seeing Tess. "Tess." And when the crowd has dispersed, the woman calls out Tess' name in a natural tone. "Oh, do you know each other? Well, I could do the honor of introducing you to one another, but I guess it's better for you to do it yourselves." And Nikki extends her hand with a smile on her face. "Nice to meet you, I'm Nikki, and these 2 are Teresita and Momo. Jisoo." And rather than exchange handshakes, the woman raises her hand to brush the dust off Nikki's face. "And let's get changed first, and I'll see you all at the bonfire party tonight." see if I have. Yeah, I mean, cowboys like to run around in the desert. Yeah, she definitely does need a cowboy hat. When did I hear that I would work well with cowboy hats? And we're still suntan cause of the weather. Alright, let's see if I find a fun hat. Maybe, well, that one's a definite maybe, but maybe I have one of a darker color. Oh, here we go. I thought I have like the same hat, but in like two different shades. Oh yeah, they change the hair color to red. And now let's find every accessory that every cowboy normally has. I don't think I have a lot. This is a bit too exaggerated. No, it's not a gun, it's a Caron 98. Wow, Nikki's packing heat. Alright. Yeah, when fell when the that's hilarious. Say hello to say hello to my little friend. All right, we're ready to be cowboys.
Every battle I'm in, victory is the only outcome.
Yeah. The sandstorm is now spectacular red. We have the sun. We have the desert sun buried in the horizon. And people share food and dance to their heart's content. They sing and tell of their joy after the calamity. Tess, and thank you for bandaging me up, but it really isn't that bad. And Nikki seems like a rice dumpling with all of the bandages, but she finds it amusing. Easy peasy, and as a priest of the tribe, I'm well versed in all sorts of subjects, not to mention medicine. I say you just prove that you're well versed in nothing. I'll take care of it. And Jesus brings hot drinks over for everyone and a small dish of barbecue for Momo and receives bandages and syrup from Tess. And wow, and how do I love barbecue. And a random guest. And I don't like hot drinks. And it's cold at night. And Tess pauses as she moves over and watches Jesus wear her magic, and it takes Jesus only a few seconds to patch up her wounds, and she even ties a knot on it. And Tess is a much better healer than I am, and only that I am better at hands-on stuff. And you're good at taking care of people, and I can tell the two of you are quite friendly with each other. I'm always in need to keep an eye out for her, and I think it's the other way around. And the afterglow of the bonfire smooths the contours of Jesus' face, shimmering in the bright red sparks, leaping and crackling stillness of the night. Tess is alright, and she sent me a year ago when I was severely injured. Oh, is that so? And she was unconscious in the desert, and then it was nearly swallowed up by quicksand, and I happened to be passing by and did what any decent person would do. I woke up not remembering what had happened, but you, Teresita, I find you familiar. And Jesus looks over her this way, and her gaze candid and sincere. Is there anything you remember? Yes, a group of black sandstorms. And Jesus doesn't make sense, and a bemused look creases on her face, and she catches a glimpse of them waiting for her to continue. She's a person of few words, and it's going to take some getting used to. And the perpetrators wreaking havoc at the hawk hunting and trying to loot the divine arrows with black sandstorms. And what are they? They are a mysterious existence lingering in the desert, and people know them as the black sandstorms that have been in the desert for ages. And frankly speaking, no magic this land possesses has any power to turn sandstorms into hawks. And they used to just roam, but they became a lot more active a year ago. And it's either because the hawk hunters is no longer able to fight them, or the sandstorms have somehow gained more power. A year ago. And at the time a fissure appeared in the center of Nini's royal city. And the young girl with the power bestowed upon her by the prophet declared war on the demons from the abyss, and the two powers were eventually evenly matched. There is bound to be a connection between them if they happen at the same time. And Jesus travels between the tribes to gather information as to fully recovering. And the day before the hunt, she went to investigate the warrior house, I thought, and we never heard from her since then. And seems like you made quite a good progress. And Jesus nods her head as she plucks the firewood with a wooden stick, and with the sky darkening, the starlight seems to be pointing at them a certain way. Yes, the sanctus came from the quicksand shrine, and it's a natural quicksand sinkhole around the golden stone drive in wasteland. They think it is a vestige of the gods, so they built a massive temple there. Quicksand and a shrine. They seem to fit the description in symphonic about where Elder has seen the miracles. And why were the black santos there though? And why were they trying to take the divine arrows? And there was a beam of cobalt light towards the bottom of the quicksand, and similar to the blue light the divine arrows give off. And could that be the divine bow carried by the legendary hawk hunter? Likely though, I'm not sure. And are you going to look into it again, Jesus? And I can't be sure of where the quicksand is because it moves around, and I can feel the divine arrows, but they can't be borrowed. And my mirror reacted to the arrows before, so there's a chance that it could react to the divine bow as well. Really? And we came to Westland to look for a certain shrine of legends, and it seems like we are all after the very same sandstorms have come. And her eyes light up. Great then. And snoring Momo is fast asleep next to them, and you puts a blanket over him. And let's rest for now, and we'll leave tomorrow. Alright, let's rest now. That's a nice, looks like a nice outfit. It's just Santa and cause of the bad weather. I don't know, like some people like the heat more than the cold, and like oh my god, like the temperature, if the temperature drops in Florida by like a couple of degrees, I am already freezing to death. It's like a little necklace thing. But it's not too big. And front and back, and off we go.
Come on. I'll present you with the most beautiful dream.
A magic shrine stands on the edge of the sinkhole outside the desolate city with a bottomless pit of quicksand that seems to be able to devour everything. And a black sandstorm swims negotiating through the quicksand and hides in the dark where it lets out pants resembling roars. And the crawling black figure soars into an eerie shape of a human, seemingly contorting a new plan. And the bow carries a sapphire is held aloft and shining a blue light on the dilapidated walls to reveal any creature come upon them. And swept up by the desert sandstorm, hysterical whispers ring from every corner under the pale moonlight. The haze has turned the moonlight mist into a bright golden nebulous veil that enshrouds and stretches of sands and dews and clouds in the sky. And Tess knocks a few times on the door before walking into the hotel, and she comes back out holding Momo in one hand and grabbing Nikki with the other. The sun isn't even out yet, and why are we up so early and so sleepy? And we need to head to the market before it gets too hot. And the sky is already dyed in a different shades of red, and they're here at the market, but the line is still sound asleep in the murky darkness. And with torches and lights on either side, the stone-paved path meanders into the distance like a ribbon adorned with gems. And the shop owners are sorting their merchandise like people walking groups and greet one another. And the vibe doesn't measure up to yesterday, though it carries a vigorous air nonetheless. Good morning, charming Catafer, enjoying the day out here in the market. And Ravi and Nomi place baskets full of merchandise on their stand and greet Nikki with enthusiastically. It isn't until the group is close enough that they see Tess under her veil. Lady Tess. And they quickly put down what they were holding and bow to Tess, and after which they utter praise in their native tongue. How about some cactus juice, Priestess Tess? And a castor juice is the best in the market, and they all know it. And people caught the sound of it and started gathering around. And what a pleasant surprise to see you here, Priestess Tess, and here's some meat for you. And Chief Yadu is absolutely in love with it. And we have a veil for you, Priestess Tess, and it was shipped by train, and I'm sure this is good to make you absolutely gorgeous. And Tess seems to enjoy the high status in the drive, and everyone greets her with her respect, and some even want to give her with quality products they have. And Tess seems entirely used to the situation, and she wears a smile as she nods and waves at people, seemingly more in her element than before. Life doesn't seem any easier being a priestess, and that's just what a priestess has to do. And a few of Jesus fans from yesterday heart competition come out to ask her about her whereabouts. And Priestess Tess and Catafer, and where's the Hawk Hunter? And we didn't have a chance to take pictures when taken with her. And I wrote her a letter, and could you give it to her for me? and I picked some beautiful and composed a song for her. And they sure are a friendly bunch. The hog hunting winner is awarded the hog hunting title, proving them to be a formidable hunter. And regardless of their background, a hog hunter may visit other tribes as their own tribe representatives to partake in the ritual activities to ascend to a higher position. And this is why everyone reveres hog hunters. And since the hog hunter is not there, and could we take a picture taken with you instead, dear Catafers? And yes, islanders are rare in our lands. And then you save us from the disaster, and you are courageous islanders. And why are they being so friendly with us too? Because you protected the arrows, and the wastelanders truly respect people who are brave and honest. And be friendly with them and dress up for the photos, okay? What do I have? And this dress makes me extra floaty. That's interesting butterflies.
Like some design adds to the ethereal.
Alright, front and back.
Do you trust me?
With the sun gradually ascending, the sky becomes bright and brilliant, and Tess has said, it is starting to feel like a scorcher. But this is unbearably hot, and I'm feeling dehydrated. Hang in there, Momo. Thank God we came out early, and we almost done walking through the market. There is a fountain and a pergola right up ahead, and we should take a break. And at the pergola, others feel the heat are already resting on the perches and on tables, and Ted fills up some water pouches and hands them out. And a few youngsters in clothes of different styles squat in the corner trying their best to converse in a broken common language. And my brave hunter in the future, hunting even 7 years old, he'd be bird this feather so pretty. And the boy from the Lost Santa reaches out his hand to draw a big circle as he tries to explain himself. And then he points at the red feather in his hair so for the other children to see. I'm brave too, and I'm also smart. And he produces several stones that give off a curious light. And my father dug this out of the mountains, and the mountain was far away and isolated, and I could hear the wolves howling at night. And did you run into a wolf? I didn't, but my dad found a big night turtle, and this is an optucut I found. Offcut, you mean? Yes, Dad. And here's one for you and one for you, and let's be friends. And I want one too, my friends here have some feathers. And I don't have anything beautiful, but I can tell you stories. I attended many rituals before, and the priest taught me to read and told me stories from the past. And the girl from the astroturf takes out a picture book, and the pages of the picture book are slightly curled because they are made from thread and bark, but the pictures in there are bright and vivid. Sure, such a delicate book, and the texture is pretty unique too. And Nikki approaches the youngsters out of the curiosity which takes them by surprise. Holy, a hunter! And you're the caterpillar who protected the arrows from yesterday. Hey, would you like to listen to my stories? I'll be more than happy to accompany you. And it's a story about how wastelanders came into being and God came from the other side of the Mount Urpa to break the sky and the land apart. And where his feet had walked became deserts, and where his dad had touched became the oasis. And when the sky and the land had parted, devils of the dark and angels of light and humans were created. And the angels and the devils dominate the sky and the land, and leaving humans to thrive on the earth. Impressive. I knew you were smart. And instead of the other two children give the young girl their sincere compliments, and the girl snatches her head and looking slightly embarrassed. It's incredible how she can already tell a story in the common language at such a young age when so many adults still struggle to speak it. Is this story different from the one a Wasteland guide that Nikki is reading? Wasteland abounds with Genesis stories, and we just heard one from a girl and one from the book. Wow, a fox. No way, it's a cat. Not a cat. It speaks, what a curious animal. Wait, don't pinch my face, help! And they swim around Momo and take turns hugging and squeezing him. And they adorn him with feathers and gems and are about to paint his face with a symbol of a blessing. I see they're having a good time hanging out, and I'm sure they'll become good friends. And they are good friends already. And tribes rarely open themselves up like this, and events and priest visitations are about the only time tribes interact with one another. And they could become friends here today, but God only knows when they'll be able to see each other next. Is that so? And the thought weighs heavily on Nikki, but Tess still wears a smile. Don't be sad, Nikki. People born and raised in the land are as vast as a wasteland and not unlike grains of sand, and the wind takes them where they should go. And wherever that might be, people believe that the gods will help us cross paths with the most we long to see. Huh? Yeah, take a break. Oh, this is nice. want more green, darker green. Please. Yeah. There we go. Alright, let's find green ears. We'll call it another option. Let's just send it over then. Alright, nice and green. A nice necklace. And a ring. Right, front and back. Well, most of the back just shows that fancy here. But
This time I'll change the ruined future.
it's a very nice green dress. Jesus is cleaning a feet throw in front of the little stone built stable outside the ghost stone tribe. The sun ascending rains heat up the sand and making her surroundings appear distorted as the air becomes hotter. She is wearing gloves and has her hair in a loose bun, and the back of her neck is reddened and covered by sweat because of the sun. And Jesus finishes clearing out the feet trough. And when she finishes preparing the grass and the grain, she takes out a salt block and breaks up a few pieces into the feed trough. And after that is done, she turns her hand slightly and wipes a few dangling drips of sweat off her jaw with her arm. And her movements are unrestrained yet elegant, and free spirit untamed. This is Jesus. Hey Jesus, and how are you doing? Easy there, Tess, and welcome, Teresita and Nikki and Momo. I see you're working, Jesus, and can we help? It's fine, I'm almost done, and this won't take me too long because I'm pretty used to it. And Jesus takes off her glove and whistles into the distance, summoning the black horse she usually rides. And the horse rubs his head against Jesus and lets out a few neighs before running off to the stable for the treat of grass. It's hot out, come in. And Jesus lives in a den only slightly bigger than a stable, and the inside is simple and neat and appears to have just been cleaned. Sorry, it could be a little crowded. Don't worry about it, and it's spotless in here. And meat, fruit, and scarves, and Tess puts everything, and she receives from the people of the market on the table. And I got all this from the folk of the market. and that's too much food. And they wanted you to have these, and no way I'm going to bring it back to the market. And let's enjoy them together then. And Jesus takes out a few nice looking plates and puts the food on them, and already drooling, Momo grabs a piece of jerky and starts eating. Is this where you usually live? I don't spend a lot of time here, and only Tess drops by sometimes. For her, I set up this place, including the furniture. And the last person she knows how to take care for herself, and she probably knows how to sleep on the floor if I hadn't come get these things prepared for her. Not true. And she only brings water and their food when she goes out. I carry arrows and daggers to hunt for meat and gather fruit, and bring too many things would only be a hassle. Just living off of nature, eh? And you should probably learn how to do that since you're traveling so much. Sure, and is there anything else we should be prepared for our trip? Not really, not when I'll be traveling with you and keeping you safe. Amazing how you can travel from one place to another just like that. And Tess lies down on the futon and plays with her glossy black hair, pouting as she speaks. I suppose you can join us because you're the priestess? Not really, I'm just tired from walking for the entire day. But you really didn't even walk that much. It's getting late now, and should we go back now? Sure, and do you want to visit my place? And Jesus brings me something interesting whenever she visits, so I have plenty of cool little trinkets around my house. Her place really is worth a look. And Jesus knows that she packs up her jerky with a piece of cloth and hands over to Momo. I'll pass because I still need to get ready for the trip. And it's getting cold, and you should put on something to keep yourself warm. Alright, something warm. Something different warmer. Let's see. What's this we do? Sazonera. Vamos. Silly cat here. Fun necklace. Oh, it's neck. I always get necklace and neck gear confused. Right, front and back, and off you go.
Every battle I'm in, victory is the only outcome.
The sheer underground pathway zigzags through the dark, and the lantern's Tess is holding is only the source of light. The lantern's however swing almost violently to Tess's sheer for gain, and the translucent fog in the path fuses dizzying lights and distorts space and dazzling the group. But Tess humming a song doesn't seem to bother at all, and every step they take seems to form a perfect rhythm with the stone paths under their feet, and stands ringing in perfect rhythm through the dark on the corner walkway, and there's an eerie atmosphere created by the footsteps, the wavelight, and Tess's humming. It's there, right ahead. And Tess picks up her pace for the corner ahead, and the light disappears when her footsteps, and the hand disappears around the corner. The trio speed up past Tess, and they seem to have passed through a doorway, and the dark had arrived at a spacious area. Tess? Nikki, why is it so dark here? And I have a bad feeling about this. Ouch. Mama, are you okay? I just stumbled on something, and it feels hard and cold. And Momo reaches out to feel for heavy objects standing in his way, and he makes out a vague shape of a rectangular stone box. I think it's a coffin. And before Momo could finish his syllable, a sharp scraping noise of rocks burst into everyone's ears seconds before somebody scoots Momo off his feet. What the heck? And with a click, the stone chamber comes to life with a white gentle light, and Tails is holding up a moonlight lantern in one hand and Momo in the other. So it was on the bed, and it took me a while to find you. You, the bed, the lantern. And you mean this lantern, beautiful, isn't it? And it's a gift from Jesus. And what's it on the bed? And why the question should be, and why do you sleep in a coffin? It's really comfortable. And do you want to try sleeping in it? Well, sleeping in a coffin is typical of vampires. So she must be a day walker. Well, she might not be 100% weak to sunlight, but it may just like slow her down because just walking in the sunlight was enough to tire her. Thanks, but no thanks. And Momo breaks free of Tess's arm and hops into Nikki's. Momo, don't be afraid, it's alright. And Nikki scans the room as she gently strokes Momo's head, and lines of golden screeches give off a faint glow in the enormous stone chamber. This room you have is quite unique, and are the inscriptions on the wall a writing system your tribe uses. Those are benedictions for prayers and rituals, and they have been around since our tribe was first established. Which means this room has been around for quite some time already. Yes, because it serves as a golden stone stripe's burial chambers. I can't believe I'm already getting used to this. And it's actually very nice in here, warm in the winter and cold in the summer, and the internet is perfect for gaming, never lags. And Tess bends down to grab a storage box from the stone coffin, and the box holds all sorts of game consoles, controllers, laptops, and tablets, and speakers, and projectors. You can do all that there, and we can connect to the Apple Federation Wi-Fi anywhere in the Golden Stone Drive. And do you guys want to play? And this console comes with the controllers. Where are they though? And Tess dumps everything out of the box on the floor, and it takes her a while, but she finally finds a controller under the pile of pillows inside the coffin. And found that I found one though, unfortunately. And Nikki looks at the message on the floor, unsure what to say. And you really need to start tidying up your room. And would you like us to give you a hand? And Tess' eyes light up. Nikki, you're an angel, and let's get ourselves changed then. I like clothing for cleaning up a mess. That's something nice and light. Can't forget the shoes. I always forget the shoes. Put on a nice bracelet. Right, front and back, and off you go.
I see the causes of the world with my eyes.
That's like a nice transparency that looks a lot like starlight. Tessa's room is filled with all sorts of books and off items, and it isn't until the evening that you finally finish cleaning up the room and sorting through all of the items. All done at long last, and you put your medicine and beef jerky together just when the world does that. I told you Jesus gave them to me as a set, and luckily it hasn't expired yet, and let's see while we can take a break then. And Tess stretches in her now tidy room, and the moment she stops moments opening her phone, pings the notifications start ringing non-stop for a good few seconds. It's at moments, and let's at each other as friends. And Tess turns her phone around, and the ID is Master Diviner Tess and has been verified. Master Diviner Tess, are you the Master Diviner with the super icon information on the horoscope? And I can't believe it's you. Yes, it's yours truly, and I do fortune telling for people on moments for fun. And people will probably lose their mind if they ever knew that it was you who did their fortune telling for them. And it's different from the rituals and fortune telling and I do in town, but it's meaningful nonetheless. People need guidance to feel at ease because they feel lost about their future, and it's enough for them to feel secure and not know what the future holds. And then reaches out into a box with fortune telling objects that have just been organized. Would you like a fortune telling session before heading out for the quicksand shrine? For free, of course. Oh, sure, thank you. And Tess gives a gentle smile as she shakes her head and she looks down at the fortune-telling objects she's holding and a few brass coins. It's been a while since I last used these. Here, Nikki, just toss them out. Oh, sure. And when Nikki tosses the coins onto the table, they pile in neatly and turn into an upright column. Holy! And that's unusual. Let's try again. And 6 tosses later, and it's still the same, though our doesn't go into Tess's head with frowns on her face. That's quite a few odd numbers in a row, and maybe this is the gods telling me that I shouldn't be the one breaking the news to you. Is something bad going to happen? And smiling again, Tess pats Nikki on the shoulder. Oh, nothing to worry about. Coins only tell of a trend and not of a definite result. And fate is elusive and full of possibilities, so we can't jump to conclusions. And that's the fate for you, and you can see bits of pieces of it, but when you want to get a closer look, it's all hazy, as if summoned by a thick fog. And you can avoid what's bound to happen, but you can prepare yourself and decide how you want to face it. Human factors play an essential role too. And it's going to be okay, and let's play games together when you're back. Alright, this is gonna be the last styling of this let's find some fun outfits. More stars here, more star theme ones. Alright, sparkly stuff. Nice blue dress. Alright, let's fix the hairdo. Oh, that one's fun. And now let's add the makeup and the eye, the peepers, which is another name for eyeball. And let's see, do I want to add nail art? Yes, I do. And let's add some earrings. Oh, what happened, bro? Well, yes, the string of. Alright, let's get a fun neck gear, not necklace. Some star shape on the forehead, and last but not least, a nice blue ring. Alright, front and back. And we're ready to go.
Come on. I'll present you with the most beautiful drink.
Alright, and we are done with this chapter, with chapter 7 of volume 2 of Shiny Nikki. I hope you have fun with me reading and doing all the stylings. Bye bye and God bless. Please give a like and subscribe. Or just a like, whatever.